One night in July, I was in bed and I was trying to go to sleep, which is usually when a lot of my thoughts run through my head and when I do most of my thinking. And a thought came in my mind, and I didn't quite know what to do with it at first, but I just heard pop and heart problem. And so I was thinking about my grandpa, and I didn't know what was going on, but I just automatically felt fear fill my heart, and it just started to take over. So I just stopped where I was and just took some time to pray and ask God to protect Pop, and not only protect him, but also to give our hearts peace. Whatever was happening, that peace would overtake the situation. And again, just kept praying protection over him over and over.
I had a dream, and in the dream, my dad had a heart attack and died, and we were at his funeral, and my family members were all there, and we were very sad. We were grieving. It was a really awful dream. When I woke up, the grief was all over me. I had to get up and go to work, and as I'm going through my day, the grief just seemed to pull me under. And for 2 days this went on. And on the second day, as I'm headed to work, I'm going down 385, and I get that grief again, and I just start praying. And I hear the Holy Spirit say, I'm going to take care of your dad just like I took care of him when you were a little girl. And I had instant peace, I had trust, I had faith. It was like instantly I knew that God had given me a promise. And as a little girl, 7 years old, praying for my dad while he was overseas, it was that personal message from God that he was going to take care of my dad.
One Sunday in September, I remember I was in bed. It was still morning, and we were still having evening services, so we were not at church. And Mom called, and when I saw her name on the phone, I automatically knew that it was about Pop and that he was having a heart attack. But I had a peace in my heart that I can't explain, because I knew the months before that I had been praying that that's exactly why I was praying, and I knew that that was the Holy Spirit. It wasn't a spirit of fear. And I knew that God was going to be in control of this situation. I knew that he had protected Pop. I knew that he was covering Pop. And I also knew that he was covering my heart.
When I got there, my dad was in the midst of being in pain, and the EMT said, Mr. Horton, you're having a heart attack. And yet around me, I had peace, and I had a promise from God that he was going to take care of my dad. And it all came from the prayers for those 2 days. It was like a protection had been placed around my dad during this time, and God had given me a promise.
I don't think that God needed me to pray months before. I don't think that it was anything really having to do with Pop, but God wanted me to trust him. He wanted me to believe that he was in control and that he was protecting Pop. He didn't need me to do anything. He just wanted me to have an opportunity to listen and to learn and to grow in my faith. And because of that, my faith was much bigger than it was before.
I was just really in awe of God's love. The way he's so personable with us and speaks to us through the Holy Spirit. He's not a God that's far away, he's near. And when he talks to us, it's in our language. It's something we understand. And I was just very overwhelmed at God's goodness and God's provision and just the way he's in relationship with us.